Good morning, Colleen. How you doing?
I am doing well, Joe. How are you?
I'm doing well. My mom is upstairs right now, hanging with my oldest kid on a day home from daycare, which is awesome. She came to visit for the long weekend, so it's hearing little footsteps bouncing around upstairs and screaming is always fun.
That's awesome.
How about you? What's going on with you this week?
So, I I am overwhelmed in a good way, I think. It's all good things, but I said when I came back to podcasting and starting the new consultancy that I was like I'm going to say yes to everything. And I have mostly been doing that and it has been amazing,
Hmm.
but I have a lot of things now.
Yeah.
And mean, I don't even know where to start. Okay, so I did a webinar last week. Oh, okay, so let's start with last week. So
Yeah.
last week
How'd that go?
yeah, so I got my website live before the webinar, so that was Monday. I got the website live, had the webinar on Tuesday. It went really well. Like shout out to the company that organized it, cuz when someone invites you to do a webinar or a podcast and you don't have a lot of context, you never
Hmm.
really know how it's going to go. Right? You're like, is anyone going to show up? Like how are they marketing it? It went really well, and they had a ton of people show up. I was impressed. So that was fun.
That's awesome. Yeah, webinars are always a crapshoot, I feel.
Yeah.
Like, especially just like the term nowadays has been feels so dated since COVID, because
Yes.
everyone was doing their own webinar. So I'm glad that it was a positive experience for you. I hope you either get some leads or some traffic from that.
Yeah, I hope so. So that was good. I spent some time deep in my OpenClaw setup. I think we had talked about that, about how it was
Hmm.
not working very well. So I spent a full day almost trying to get that kind of sorted. So now I have 3 different agents. They're in Telegram. It's kind of cool, but it also doesn't feel like it's actually saving me any time. Like, is this just another thing now I have to do? Like another
Yeah.
avenue for me to talk to my fake AI agents?
Hmm. Hmm.
So I set that up to have one LinkedIn post content generator, one home organizer, and one kind of like boss or like executive assistant is how I have my agent set up. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not sold on it yet. It's cool, but the most useful thing for me so far has been the automated SEO reports, which we talked about
Hmm.
last week. And whenever a thought, my favorite thing really is like whenever a thought pops into my brain, like a bzzz, like little
Hmm.
mosquito, like, oh, I have to do this thing. I can dump it to one of my agents. And now that I have Telegram so accessible on my phone, it's really easy to be like, hey, remind me to do this thing tomorrow at 4 p.m.
Yeah, that's nice. It's like a better Siri reminder where they actually
Yes.
have context and can understand you and confirm instead of just being like, hey, I'm not going to say her names to set off everyone's phones, but, remind me to do, message daycare at 4 p.m. tomorrow. And it's like, I'll remind you to message Slalom at 6.
Yes.
It's like, oh my
And then the
God, you
reminders
totally
get
fucked
put
up.
in reminders. It's so annoying. Like the way it
Hmm.
works with Siri, I just find it terribly
Yeah.
inefficient and like it's not a good workflow. So the Telegram thing works really well.
Hmm.
And I'm kind of like, I spent a lot of time like actually getting into the memory and setting it up in a very specific way, which seems
Cool.
great. So I'm going to keep kind of like picking at that in my free
Hmm.
time, in my
Hmm.
extra time, um, and see how that goes. But that was kind of
I've, s-
cool.
yeah, I've seen this arc 3 times on Twitter now where someone is like all in on OpenClaw. And starting last week, people being like, my OpenClaw has just fallen over. It's forgetting
Yeah.
things. It's not actually doing what I ask it. It's running off without, like permissions and stuff. And I have not dug into OpenClaw at all. Like, I haven't even touched it. So I know very little about it. But the Twitter discourse on it has been very interesting to see people be like, I want this to work, but it just keeps falling over. And now I'm just babysitting not only a machine, but I'm babysitting like quote people, all these little agents that are running around interacting with each other. And I do wonder what that means for just OpenClaw in general. Is it like a bug that could be fixed, or is it something bigger picture of memory fills up and context gets crappy, you know?
Yeah, I think a lot of it is about memory. Like you
Yeah.
have to like highly manage the memory. And
Mhm.
the CEO of Shopify published some kind of search thing everyone's talking about, which I forget
Hmm.
what it's called. It's like QMD or Q something.
From
I'm gonna
Toby?
try. Yeah, that one. Yeah, Toby. Um, so I'm gonna. That's like my next thing is to like get that integrated, um, and see if that combined with like aggressive memory management, because you got to flush it.
Yeah.
Because right now, what I'm learning about the way it does memory, it just dumps everything. Like so, you just have a file every single day, and
Mm.
and so it's so much context. So I've had it for like 2.5 weeks, but I can imagine
Yeah.
in a couple more weeks that context is going to completely fill up. It's not going to be able to find
Mhm.
anything. Like, so
Mhm.
I think aggressive memory management is a big thing with it. Some people are saying their cron jobs aren't running. I haven't run into that. Mine are fine. So anyway, that's been kind of like I spent a whole day last week kind of
Yeah.
diving into all of that. Ooh, I did one more thing, which I think is really cool,
Tell me.
is I gave it so one of the annoying things about setting it up on a private VPS
Mhm.
is I can't really see the files. Like I have to SSH into the box
Mm.
every time I want to see the files. And then I'm like catting the files, which is kind of not my preferred way to edit files, right? Imagine you have an
Mhm.
idea and you're like, "Oh, I want to add this to my OpenClaw." Like I don't want to go through all those steps. So
Mhm.
I gave it its own Dropbox account, free Dropbox
Nice.
account, and then synced all of its files. So basically symlinked all of its files to the Dropbox files. So I can now edit all of its files on my Mac locally
Yeah.
from Dropbox, which is cool.
I like that. That's also such a quote low tech solution. In my head, I'm
Yeah.
like, all right, you
Ugh.
got to build a Rails app that sits between it, an API. You want to do action text in there so you can do Markdown. It's like, no, just use Dropbox.
Yeah. So that's been
I
really
love that.
great. I
Hmm.
like that because, like I said, I was really trying to understand how does the memory work,
Hmm.
and it made it way easier for me to like understand which
I can
files is
see.
it reading, what's it using. Yeah. So big fan of that. So that's my quick
Nice.
OpenClaw update. And then I've I had this like perfect situation where I had 2.5 days of paid work, which gave me the
Hmm.
rest of the time to work on my own things. But of course, because I just cannot chill out and like enjoy things that I have gone out to look for more work.
Sure.
And that's cool. Like, I mean, I don't know. It's exciting. It's a lot, but like, it's a lot. Like, all of a sudden, I have like a million things to do because I'm managing these Google ads. I'm building this content system for someone. I'm doing my contract work, and
Hmm.
I'm like, oh, and I need to start this whole other arm of the business where I go after professional services companies for AI automations. So I have
So
everything under
you
control.
added a paid leg, or you added like an experimentation, or like a lead gen, or just like a fun project. Like what of that is new that you added?
Yeah. So, of that list, what is new is I am trying. So, this is like actually really what I want to talk about today.
Hmm.
Something we have talked about a lot is my desire to reach outside of my network to serve
Yep.
other customers. And the long game with that is to come up with, productized consulting. And that's really hard in with the network I have because like developers just want to build their own stuff.
Uh-huh.
But I don't have any warm leads. I don't have any friends that are lawyers or mortgage brokers or dentists or anything like that, which means getting that first contract is going to be really hard. So I am positioning my website and my LinkedIn, and I don't know if I'm going to run ads or I'm going to use like cold LinkedIn outreach, but basically, like, I want to spend the next 30 days picking a niche and just going after them for AI automation solution to see what kind of problems they have.
What's your first in
Well,
ads?
I think so. I mean, I think
Yeah.
that and LinkedIn. So I think it's a
Yeah.
two-phased approach where I'm going to go after professional services companies. And what I mean
Hmm.
by that are like, I think like management consultant companies.
Huh.
Yeah, I haven't picked, I mean, I'm going to figure it out today. It's either going to be like management consultants or the three I'm looking at are like management consultants, accountants, or like lawyers. But the problem with trying to break into any of these markets is I am not a subject matter expert. So it's going to be hard.
Yeah.
So I'm going to pick one of those. I'm going to take a dual strategy of changing my LinkedIn to like very,
Hmm.
very clearly, like we all know how to do an ICP by now, hopefully, if you've been listening to me forever. Like I do X, Y, Z for, I do X for Z.
Hmm.
Like that's what we do. Um, and simultaneously run ads to a dedicated landing page and do cold LinkedIn outreach.
And you're skipping or you're not doing the personal trainer route. You talked about that a few weeks ago about how you
Oh
were going to
yeah,
reach
we
out
had
to like
talked about
personal
that.
trainers because you kind of had like maybe a network there. We had some friends that were doing it. Did you decide not to do that or skip
Oh
it?
yeah, because they don't have any money.
They don't have any money. That's a problem.
Yeah, they don't really
Yeah,
have any
that's a problem.
money. So I think if we went back, if we did someday like build a fun app just to like test,
Mhm.
for like marketing for you and marketing for
Yeah.
me, I would
Mhm.
still do that. But like
Mm,
as a
business.
consultant, like I'm not. Yeah,
Yeah.
they don't have the budget for the kind of work that I want to do.
Yeah, that makes sense. At best, they're looking for a small monthly SaaS subscription that does what you do in a box, not like consulting.
Yeah, yeah, because they can afford it. And to be honest, I looked, and there are like
Mhm.
a lot of those.
Oh,
Like
really?
there's so many
That
small
makes sense.
apps aimed at personal trainers running online fitness businesses. So
Hmm,
many. Yeah.
interesting. Is that
Yeah.
a AI thing or has that always been the case?
That's always been the case.
Huh, huh. Well, could stay out of that market.
I just feel like that'd be a hard market to get into.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. So you're essentially trading your potential network for an easier, hopefully, market to get into.
well, this is what I want to talk to you about because this could be a
Mhm.
terrible waste of my time.
Yeah,
Because if you
yeah.
think about where I am,
Mhm,
I am I have a good market with technical founders.
mhm.
Developers are kind of like most of the people I know.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people like running real businesses in that space.
Mhm,
Like they're not
mhm,
multi-million dollar businesses, but they're real businesses.
mhm.
And I think the two things I just don't want to do is I don't know, like maybe they would buy inbound SDR custom automations. Like maybe they totally would, and I'm overlooking something that is obvious.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of the first thing I built for my existing client is like an
Mhm.
inbound pipeline. And it's good. Like it's helpful. Like it's not saving them an insane amount of time, but it's saving them some time and they seem happy
Sure.
with it.
Yeah. Okay.
So maybe I have in my head the reason I'm trying to do this, Joe, is I have in my head that like this consulting I wanted to lead to product.
Yes.
And I already know that AI SDR space is completely saturated. Like any
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
marketing automation, I have two friends trying to break into this space and they are getting
Mhm.
crushed. And it's not because they're not great
Yeah.
people, it's because there's so much competition. There's no moat. The churn is insane. Like it's just a
Mhm.
bad place to build a product, I think. So in my head, I'm thinking if I can get in with the lawyers or the accountants or whomever,
Mhm.
spend this year, let's say, building paid solutions. Maybe by 6 to 8 months, I'll see
Mhm.
enough patterns to be like, here is a solution that I can productize.
Right. Right. Yeah, I like the lofty goal of that plan, right? Like
Okay.
break
Appreciate
into a
that.
market, we'll just push that aside. The goal, right? Like um doing all of this fun stuff for a demographic, an audience, a customer that is different from what your audience is and then slowly turning into a product. I love that on the surface. What what I struggle with seeing that work is where you've had success is with the people who are in your network.
Yes.
And your SaaS marketing gym, like you also saw success there. Where did those people come from? How did you find those people and why like what if you doubled down on those folks and tried to do this type of stuff for them, like SaaS marketing gym solo, on steroids or whatever? I just have a hard time if you were able to are trying to break into a market, you don't know what's failing if it doesn't work. You don't know if it's because you
It's
didn't
true.
find the right people, if you didn't find any people, or if you're offering the wrong product. You have like so many variables in the air. If it
It's
works,
true.
great. Like who cares? But if you're using your like existing network and you're doing more connection based, like network based finding of clients, you can at least know that it's not the people, it's like the product that you're trying to pitch to them. Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
it does. I feel like the problem is again, it's like budget because everyone
Yeah.
in my network of the SaaS Marketing Gym founders, some of them were really, I mean, we charged a lot,
Yeah.
and some of them were stretching, right?
Mhm.
It
Mhm.
was not insignificant for them to pay $1,800 a month. That was like a lot of money to them.
Yeah.
So I guess it's
Yeah.
more like,
And you're looking for more than that
yeah, I want
from
to
a
do
client anyway.
like 20K, like here, 20K starting contracts. And so those are not, I do not believe those are the kinds of companies that
Mhm.
could afford that. But
That makes
also,
sense. Yeah.
but also though, like if you look at like this, is there a stepping stone to doing that for cheap for a couple of them? Um, Kind of get the case studies, get my legs under me, and then go up to like, what's the next level from here? Maybe that's what I
Yeah.
should do.
Yeah. Using them sounds terrible, but leveraging them for case studies and success stories might go a long way in then maybe expanding to your tiny seed founder group
Yeah.
and seeing of like who in there can I entice with this offer of like, oh, I took this client from X to Y with my services. Like, can I do it for you? And like, hopefully we tack a zero on the end of that one. Um, but I think that like what the more I talk about this, the more I think also like we're just overthinking it. You
I
could
know.
probably spin up your LinkedIn, a couple ads in, with OpenClaw and your process in like less than a week or maybe a couple days. Like what if you instead were like, okay, it's March 16th, right? We're recording
Hmm.
on Monday, March 16th. You're taking the last week of March off
Hmm.
for spring break because your kids are off
Hmm.
from school. What
Hmm.
if you were like, okay, all my quote free time, not client billed work, I just like put into this. But at the end of the month, if I don't have anything, I like pivot.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
And it's not a long time, of course, but like, maybe you let the ads run over the week that you're gone. But we talked about this a lot over the years of like overthinking and never executing. And then by the
Yeah.
time you're ready to execute, you're burnt out of it.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
what if
Okay.
you just executed and see and just
See
measure
what
and start
happens.
measuring and see what happens? And like then maybe you realize, oh, I'm close, but it's actually the wrong market. Or I'm
Okay.
close, but it's actually the wrong product. And you can change those things instead of coming up with like the perfect plan to launch.
Okay. I love this, Joe. This is absolutely 100% the right answer. Here's what we're going to do. You heard it here live.
That's
I
right.
already have 2 custom landing pages. One is for home services companies, one's for insurance companies. I
Nice.
will put some ad money behind that, start serving those
Mm-hmm.
up as ads. I will
Mm-hmm.
simultaneously change my LinkedIn. I'll just start with professional services, which I need
Mm-hmm.
to define that a little more. But like
Yeah.
this week, change my LinkedIn to be like, I say, I don't know, we'll figure out the wording. Like
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
say, I build AI automations for professional services companies to help them with document processing. That feels very
Sure.
specific. I just came
Yeah.
up with that. That was great.
There you go.
So I'll change my LinkedIn to do that, and like I'll just go all in on this idea. Um, and you're right. And then I do it for 2 weeks, and like if it's 0.0 people are interested, then that's a sign. Like maybe we do a
Yeah.
different one.
Exactly. And like, you're testing 7 different variables at once at that point. But it
I
also,
know.
if you're still getting absolutely zero crickets, nothing, it probably means that every single one of them is wrong. you know,
Yes,
like, uh,
every single one of them is wrong.
yeah,
So as a thought experiment,
mm,
I know like Upwork is kind of a cesspool race to the bottom,
yeah,
but I went on Upwork to see what
hmm,
people were looking for in terms of AI automations, and like there's so many.
interesting.
Like there are so many companies. I don't know if they're companies or individual people, but I guess my point is like we are so deep in it, we assume everyone can just build inbound SDR pipelines and content creation pipelines, and that is not true. Like
Right, right.
there's so much. I don't think I'm going to go the Upwork route because like I'm not going to charge $10 an hour, but
Hmm.
there seems to be a lot of interest in this field. I actually got invited to apply for a position that's kind of like part-time AI
Huh,
automations consultant. So like this is a new thing. Here's what I think is happening in the market. This is becoming a new job
yeah.
and everyone wants in. No one really knows how to price it or what it is yet, but there is a lot of opportunity. So I think you're right. Like I think it's just you just pick something, you try it. You're right. If it's zero interest, then it's like zero. Okay, they're all 7 of those variables are wrong. Okay, like
Yeah. Yeah.
this is a total bust. Yeah.
I
Anyway.
also think that there's something in your LinkedIn profile doesn't have to be specific to, let's just call it painters,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
If it was home services
Yeah.
and then you did 2 weeks of an ad campaign towards painters, 2 weeks of an ad campaign towards carpenters, 2 weeks of an ad campaign towards lawyers, like you can run all of those with those specific landing pages either simultaneously or in series and test different markets with like the same playbook.
Yeah.
And a lot
Yeah,
of that,
yeah.
once you create the original, the initial plan, should be, hey, OpenClaw, copy paste this for me.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I like that, and I like that, like I like a 2-week sprint on that, like 2 to 3 weeks of, like,
Mm-hmm.
"Let's try it, let's see what happens."
Yeah.
Um, if nothing happens, then we try the next one. Like this, I guess
Yeah.
what I'm saying poorly, but I'm trying to say is I am in the very enviable position right now that I have
Mm-hmm.
time
Yeah.
to explore. So instead of just like jumping in because I'm freaking out, like I'm worried, like I have time
Mm-hmm.
to explore. And I want to explore other industries. Like
Yeah.
that's the key. I just want to try it. I've wanted to try it for a long time. I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to explore, so I have that. So I need to make sure I take advantage of that.
Yeah. Uh, I agree. I also I also wonder if there's thumbtack ads, like stuff like that,
Yeah, yeah, like stuff like that. Yeah.
where it's
Um,
like you're already, like if this ad shows to someone, they are your target customer on this
yeah,
network, you know?
yeah, yeah.
um, that just could be interesting in terms of like where can you find non-traditional ads
Right. Something, yeah.
that
That's
aren't
a
just Google ads.
that aren't just Google ads. Yeah.
Yeah, trade manuals, like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, I think that where you are, I feel like you know what you want to do,
Mhm.
but folks don't know what they want yet.
Yes,
And
that
and
sounds
talking
correct.
about like AI automation even might
Yeah.
be too deep for them, you
Yeah.
know? It's how are you improving the metric that they care about the most, but you're using AI under the hood and they don't actually care about it, or like is automated the right word? Or are you looking at people that want to use the buzzwords and finding all of that messaging out? You're not going to learn by having more conversations with me.
Yeah, you just have to try it. This is like the
You
thing,
have to
this
try.
is like a theme, right? You just have to try it. I did ask my contractor when he was here digging up my bathroom
Yeah, there you go.
if he wanted to use AI, and he said
Uh huh.
definitely not. It was a
Okay.
hard no. He was not
uh,
interested, but I did
that's
ask
funny.
him.
Uh-huh.
And interestingly, I have a like not a friend, but like a casual acquaintance who's a mortgage broker at a big company, and she told me they have a whole AI division now.
Uh-huh.
So I think you have to find that sweet spot. Like the big companies are smart enough to be like,
Uh-huh.
we need our whole division on AI.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
But anyway, all of that to say, you're absolutely right. The key is execution, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, execution and measuring and pivoting 1,000 times
Yeah.
before you find something that sticks, and hopefully figuring out, one of those at a time, and not just 0, 0, 0 for the next six
Yeah.
months.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, right. You'll hear about it first on this podcast,
Oh, that's
so
right.
hit subscribe.
Oh, um,
I'm excited for
so
that though. That sounds fun
thanks.
and like a really good use of your expertise, which is even more important. Like I
Yeah.
feel like you're right in that niche of being excited about what you want to build for them, but also knowing how to do the ads and the ad campaigns and everything, which is a very unique Venn diagram.
Yeah, I think so. I have all of the skills. I just have so much to do. Like it's
Yeah.
exciting, but like AI was supposed to help us work less, and now
Oh
I
my
am
god.
working more. Like all the
Yeah.
time, it feels like.
Yeah. I
Same for
know.
you.
It's crazy. I I try really hard after the kids go to bed to not open my laptop.
Yeah.
And I have broken that almost every single night
Every
this year.
night.
Like I am
I have
so
failed.
excited to build
Yeah.
and to ship like all of these awesome things. And it's not even just the side projects or the, fun stuff I'm working on. It's even like client work. I'm
Mhm.
just excited to do because I can do so much. And like one of my big flaws is that I value myself based on my productivity, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
So the more I do, the better I feel about myself. So it's this like cycle of the more I do, the more I want to do, the better I feel, and on and on and on and on. And I need to just figure out like where that healthy balance is because I am not there anymore. I am over the edge. It sounds like you're either there or getting close to.
Getting close. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so tell
On
me
that
about
note,
on that note, tell me about what you've spent all your hours working on this week.
yeah. So I've had a lot of client work, which has been good. I have this maintenance project for a client that's been really awesome because we've just hit that inflection point of the apps are under wraps, and I've done like all the upfront work, and now it is actually just maintenance and watching bug reports and reviews and doing weekly releases and stuff. So that engagement for me, like effort will go down as value for them continues to stay constant, which is
Nice.
like the ideal.
Yeah.
My advisory retainer is actually using Ruby Native to build
Oh,
their app.
whoa,
Yeah,
that's so
which is
exciting.
super cool. Yeah. So
Yes.
all of last week, I've been improving Ruby Native based on their feedback.
Yeah,
So it's
that's
been this
amazing.
like double dipping of I get to work on my side project, but these are like technically build hours to this client.
Right.
And I don't do hourly, like it's actually just a flat retainer fee for 3
Mhm.
months, so it doesn't really matter how much time I give them. But in my head, I'm like, cool, I'm working on my side stuff when really my client is like getting all this value because they're like, hey, we need haptics. And two
Yeah.
hours later, I'm like, cool, update your gem. You now have haptics, right?
Yeah.
Like you can now vibrate the phone. So that's been really awesome and just like very motivating to see someone who is excited to use it and using it for something real. Like this is a company that has revenue and they're launching something new and they are betting on Ruby Native, which is
That's
awesome.
amazing. That's
Yeah.
really exciting.
Yeah. Yeah, very excited. So I'm super pumped. On the Ruby Native front, I now have 3 paying customers, which is
Yay!
wild. And I
That's
think 3
amazing.
paying customers puts me over 1K ARR,
Yes.
which is pretty
I
cool.
love that. I love that.
Which is a pretty cool metric. And I think I have like 10 people that are on a 3-month trial. Essentially, like I gave them 3 months for free in exchange for a testimonial. So we'll see what happens with those when if they convert or not. But I want to read you an email that I got. This email says it was like a whole bunch of like, "Hey, I'm trying to get this to work. You know, how do I do this?" Blah 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 blah. But it ended with, "Quote: I literally said this is so effing cool out loud working on this," which is
That's
such good
amazing.
praise at this phase. It's like
Yeah.
he doesn't even know if he's gonna launch the thing, right?
Yeah.
But the excitement is like contagious right now. And that is what I want as I get into launching. I want
Yeah.
contagious excitement for it. But I've been building a lot for it.
Yeah.
The scope has expanded dramatically.
Okay.
And so Ruby Native right now is you turn your Rails app into an iPhone app without touching Xcode or writing any Swift. You just go to rubynative.com, you click a couple buttons, and boom, the app shows up on your phone, right? And then you can submit that to the App Store. And I'm realizing that the more I build, the more I could build.
Oh, this is
So
the
like the
trap,
other day,
Joe.
this is the
This
trap,
is the
and AI
trap.
makes it super
This is
easy to
the
fall into
AI
that
trap.
trap.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. So I'm stepping in traps all day. Just
Yep.
all day stepping in traps. I have like a roadmap that only gets bigger.
Mhm.
And the first thing was a company or a business, I don't know what to call them, an individual wanted in-app purchases. I was like, cool, in-app purchases. I had it ready in like 24 hours. You can now do
Yeah.
in-app purchases in Ruby Native. Someone wanted my retainer wanted haptics added. And then I'm getting deeper and deeper and deeper, and I'm realizing, could Ruby Native be your interface into the App Store? And what I mean by that is, what if you never had to open Apple's terrible tools at all? Like right now, you have to go to something called App Store Connect to update your screenshots, add your like description, fill out your privacy labels, hit the button that says like submit for review. What if I could just abstract all of the App Store to them and it all lives in Ruby Native? And why this got so exciting to me is that I have documentation on it and folks still don't want to do it.
They still yeah.
If it
Yeah.
lives in Ruby Native, I can translate the things to make it understandable for Rails developers. The difference between like promotional text and what's new is small, but there is a big difference of where it goes in the App Store and what it means, and I can provide context on that for someone who only is used to releasing apps on the web. So I'm really excited about that, but it also means that the scope of Ruby Native is like quadrupled.
Yeah, I kinda wanna push back on that
Yeah,
one. I this is I just feel like, right, this is the trap of being able
yeah,
to build anything at
yeah.
incredibly fast speeds,
Mhm.
and 3 paying customers is amazing, but it's
Yeah.
it's not it's not a business yet.
No, no.
So, maybe we could try to get you to a certain milestone of X number of customers, and then, until you hear my opinion is until you hear people saying, "This part is too hard. I'm gonna cancel because I can't figure out how to click these 5 buttons," then is the time to build that, I
That's
think.
true. Yeah.
I'm more of a, like, ship and feedback and iterate. Um, Now there are people in the other camp, right? Look at what Linear did, right? Linear took
Yeah.
freaking forever to ship Linear because they were like, everything has to be perfect.
Yeah.
But as a
They knew
solo,
though. They knew exactly what to build.
yeah, it's true. It's true.
Like
Um,
they've been working with Jira and GitHub issues and whatever
yeah,
you want to call it for years, and they had so much feedback that they knew what to build. But
we knew what to build. Yeah.
go on.
So my pushback, although that sounds very cool, um, my pushback would be like, maybe we get 15 paying customers.
Mhm.
And then you
Mhm.
work on that. And then that takes some of the pressure off of you too, because with all this client work you have,
Yeah.
and you just told me you're working 15 hours a day or whatever,
Yeah.
12 hours a day.
Yeah.
Maybe
I know.
that gives you the opportunity to still move forward with Ruby Native, and then build that later.
No, it's very true. And there is a very clear cutoff point to like, okay, Ruby Native does the bare minimum for you to get into the App Store versus it does everything to handle the App Store process. And I'm only maybe a feature or two away from like this being where you can use Ruby Native to do everything in terms of the product. Like, sorry, in terms of Ruby Native can do everything it needs for you to get into the App Store, not
Okay.
handle the whole process. And that's like
Okay.
essentially just comes down to screenshots, which is what I'm working on now.
Okay.
And that's not far off. The thing here is that I have always released so early. That's just like
Okay.
I've built in public, I do open source, like Rails devs released with like 5 developers.
Yeah.
And it was because of that that folks started signing up because they were like excited about it. And this has been so opposite for me because I've kind of still kept it hidden,
Yeah.
even though it is a feature complete product in terms of like you can do everything on it. And it's
Okay.
not even like I'm in there polishing or I'm in there adding like tiny details. I'm adding like big features, like boom, in-app purchases now work with a
Yeah. That's a
checkbox,
huge
like stuff
deal.
like that, you know?
Yes.
Um, I guess what I'm getting at is I've never had this nervousness about is it ready to launch in a
Because it's
product
always
in
been
my entire
clear.
life. I don't know. I think I've always okay, in my mind there is a spectrum of MVP, uh polished, and then
Hmm.
like feature complete.
Okay.
Feature complete, you're never there with a SaaS. You'll always have more stuff to build. Polished is essentially what a big company would release as a V1. And MVP is what a indie solo founder would release as a V1. It's like, yeah, it works and the error messages are all over the place and like if you need support, you email me. There's no FAQs. I've always released everything at MVP because I'm so
Hmm.
impatient.
Hmm.
I'm now close to V1.
I see what you're saying.
And I'm like so far from MVP that I'm like, I know if I just add these more couple of things, it will be that much more complete and better as a package. And it's this weird, like, because I've done more, it's hard to release it. It's harder to release it to the public instead of easier.
Hmm.
That makes
It's
sense?
harder because you feel like the quality is not what it could be?
I
I don't
think
know that I
so.
understand that last thing
I
you said.
think, I
Because
know,
you've done more, it's harder to release?
yeah, it's almost like because the surface area is so big on this and it does so much already,
Yeah.
I know where all the warts are.
Yeah, of course.
And with an MVP, it's like, oh, it only does like one or two things. So the
Oh.
warts are, there's the same percentage of warts and there's fewer of them, but it's okay because it only does one or two things. And for some, I think the expectations, I have a very high expectations of what folks want this to be. I think is that what it is.
Are those informed expectations from your
No,
client work? No. Okay.
no, no,
Okay.
not at all. No,
Not at
this is
all.
totally in my head.
Yeah, I still think you should ship it. But
Yeah,
I I
I know.
I appreciate what you are saying, but what
Mhm.
you have said to me is you have a feature complete product that
Yeah.
you are happy with. Like, I wouldn't ship something that you're not proud of,
Mhm.
but again, like, you're already hand onboarding people, right?
Yeah.
Right now?
Mm.
So
I mean,
if
kind of. That's the
kind of.
crazy part is that people are kinda doing it on their own.
So that's even better, right? So if you
Yeah.
get I mean, you're available, like you're giving your time as needed so they can figure out these last few things. I still feel
Mhm.
like the focus should be on selling the product.
Mhm.
Let's get 15 paying users and then you can
Mhm.
go build this other part where you completely I just don't think if you think about someone's decision matrix,
Mhm. Mhm.
they're shipping an app store. You're
Mhm.
the only person doing this right now. So it's
Mhm.
not like they're going to go pick XYZ product that does what you just described that you're not going to build, right? They're not going to go
Yeah.
pick this other product because it has complete you know,
Yeah.
complete app store whatever. I don't know. So I feel like the market, I guess what I'm trying to say is you shipping or not shipping that feature is not going to help you figure out if you have a market for this product.
That's true. I'm almost in my head, I'm like, "I've found my customer, and I have validated this," which actually isn't true.
Okay, say more.
In my head, I've gotten good feedback, and I've gotten people paying for it, and I've gotten people signing up for the free trial that I've given them, but 10 customers for this product is not sustainable.
Right.
I need hundreds of customers for
Hundreds.
this to actually
Right.
be a real thing. And also there's the problem of this is one of the first products I ever built where the more customers I have, the more my bill goes up because
Goes
GitHub
up.
Actions cost a ton.
Yeah.
Not like
Yeah.
server costs, but straight up GitHub Actions I only get 200 minutes a month or whatever it is because I'm running on a Mac. Like, there is a point where I'm the crazy guy running a Mac Mini in my house, doing people's builds on my own,
On your own commission
network
on
because
your
it's cheaper to spend five
Yeah.
grand on a Mac than it is to pay GitHub Actions. But so it's actually one of those things where, SaaS for indie founders is usually like 95% profit,
Correct.
right? You're paying like server costs and then your own time.
Yes.
This is the one
Yes.
where there's actually costs associated with it.
With it. Yeah.
And and that also is scary to me because I don't know what those costs will be. And there's no limits
Yeah.
in place for someone to like, if they are legitimately kicking off a build every 10 minutes, that could jack up my GitHub bill.
Yeah.
So maybe that's just something I should have something in place for. That's easy, right? But
Yeah.
all of that stuff is just making me like more nervous to launch.
Nervous. I understand, and that is something you have to think about, but I also think all of those are future problems. Like, I
Mhm.
feel like what we're trying to do here is there market pull for people. Are there enough Rails developers
Mm.
out there
Yeah, that's
who
true.
want to put their apps in the iOS App Store and are going to pay for it? Because this is so
Right.
different than your existing business, right? Your existing is high tier consulting is one thing. You only need like probably 3 people in a year to make lots
Yep.
and lots of money, which is
Mhm.
totally different than what we're talking about here.
Very
You're going
true.
to need all the hobbyist developers, I think, to want to put their apps in the App Store. And I think the
Mhm.
market is there personally. Like, I think there are enough people trying to ship nowadays. More people are trying to ship than ever. But I feel like first we need to see if we have the market pull to make one of these like to have this product be like a real viable income stream for you.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And, charging indies and soloists 29 a month
Hmm.
is a non-trivial amount of money for them,
Yes.
29 a month. But
Yes.
for me, I need a lot of customers at that price
Right.
point.
You're
I'm
that.
charging the
Yeah.
businesses, 99 a month, which is I need fewer of them, but still a fair
Still.
like that's only counts for 3
Yeah.
indies. So maybe my pricing model is different. I'll think about that. But it's not one of those things like you said, I can get 3 customers a year and it be sustainable or even super
Right.
profitable. I still need hundreds, if not thousands of customers.
Yes.
And I'm having 3 people that are paying and 1 person that is excited is not proving that.
I mean, I want to say that's amazing for something you haven't really even launched yet, right? Like, I
Yeah.
know a lot of people who are not getting that kind of response from their products. So
Yeah.
you should be very excited about this. Like,
I am.
to me, it
I am very
feels like
excited.
this has the potential to be big. And I'm
Mhm.
not saying you need to launch it today, like maybe wait till after spring break, but
Yeah.
I do think you need to launch it because the faster you find out if there's market pull, the better. And the big
Yeah.
question, if you think of what is it like, I don't know, I read all these things. Someone's like how to validate business ideas. Like, you need to think about how it's going to fail and solve
Mhm.
those. Like, is it going to fail because the market is not big enough? Is
Right.
it going to fail because Rails developers don't care about iOS? Is it going to fail because there just aren't enough Rails developers shipping products? Like, I feel like those are three possible, issues with the market, not with your product. And so
Mhm.
we need to find that out within the next 6 months,
Yeah.
if not
And,
sooner.
and no matter how many features I have, none of those it doesn't
Right.
matter.
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter. Like, these
Yeah, that's a
features
good
would be
point.
amazing, but like they don't tell us anything about what the market wants.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. I have one call it a lead who's like, "Oh, this is perfect, but it also needs X. It needs X." And I'm like, "Great, I'll build X." When really they might be the only person that ever uses X. And it's
This
not
is
a big undertaking. It's not a small undertaking.
yeah. I
And
mean,
it's like, "Okay, I get it, that could be cool, but how many other people are ever going to care about this?" I don't know.
right. And
And that's not the question that I should be answering right now.
that's kind of what I think. And there's a world here where this is just lead gen to your consulting, right? Like,
Mhm.
right? Like where
Yeah.
you just upsell them. I need X. Okay, great. I do that custom and I charge, XYZ for that. But I really think this has a lot of potential just as a pure product.
Mhm.
But you need to that's why I think like the market has nothing to do with you. It's nothing to do with the product.
Totally.
Is the market
Totally.
there? Does the market want it?
And the only way to figure that out is to get it out there.
That's correct.
Yeah. Okay. I'm convinced. Thank you.
Okay, good.
That was easy. uh Timeline.
Hmm.
I'm out next week for
Yeah.
spring
Spring
break, whatever you
break.
want to call it with daycare.
Yeah.
Uh so the question is like, do I launch this week and then hope that there's no fires next week where I'm like not really in front of a computer, or do I launch what will end up being the first week in April?
Yeah.
Just seems so far away.
Um, I think you should launch the first week in April because I'm concerned that if you launch this week, you really want to be on top of it, right? You want to be on Hacker News. You want to be all over the socials. You want to be responding immediately to comments. It's
Like I
not
could do
even,
that this week. I could do that this week.
I guess today's
You know,
Monday. So
today's
you
Monday.
could do that
I
this
could write up
week.
all the stuff
Okay.
today
Okay.
or tomorrow. I could
Hmm.
launch Wednesday if I like
Okay.
really went all in on it on Tuesday. So I
What do
would
you mean?
launch Wednesday.
Okay.
What's up?
What is your definition of launch?
Uh, the big one is the like newsletter announcement
Okay.
going out to
Oh
almost
yeah, you haven't even
4,000
done that
people.
yet.
I
That's
haven't even announced it
insane.
to my
That's
newsletter. Yeah,
amazing though that you already have like 13 people using it and you haven't even told your newsletter.
yeah. I've only told my paid subscribers, which is less than
Yeah.
100.
That's amazing. Okay,
I've
continue
been
on.
teasing it on Twitter. So, like, a Twitter article or whatever. It's essentially doing my newsletter and socials and
And
Hacker
socials.
News
Yeah.
and all that stuff. Like doing a big launch, product hunt, maybe even, which is kind of weird to think about product hunt again.
Yeah.
Um, that's probably actually not even till that's
Yeah.
not high priority. Uh, but like documentation is there, Stripe is set up. I know that all that stuff is working. Maybe I need some guards in place for spam accounts and everything, but I'll cross that bridge when I get there. But it's really just like writing up some content
Yeah.
about launching it, which when I say that out loud, like that's my least favorite thing to do. So maybe I'm just delaying on that.
So maybe you should do it this week to
Maybe
make
I'm
you
just
do
delaying
it.
on that. So if I do that, if I like spend all day tomorrow working on this,
Okay.
I launch on Wednesday. Wednesday is the day that I actually have no client work. I dedicate that, or not no client work, no like personal stuff. It's just all work on Wednesdays.
Okay.
I could launch Wednesday morning with the newsletter,
Okay.
be online Wednesday with all of that stuff, and then if crap hits the fan, I have the rest of the week. And worst case, I shut down signups next week if stuff's really bad, which I don't even think is gonna happen.
Yeah. I mean, you've been beta-ing it for a while, a couple weeks
A
now,
few
right?
weeks, yeah, a few
Yeah,
weeks.
yeah. So, I
I
mean, I
think
don't think it'll implode.
the only gap is that I have people that are using it that I wanted to get testimonials from. That was
Yeah,
kind of the
that's
big
fair.
thing. Like I
Yeah.
wanted to launch with maybe a case study and like 3
Yeah.
testimonials. And I don't have any apps that are in the App Store yet. I have
Okay.
people that have submitted, which is kind of wild. Someone has
Yeah,
submitted their
it's
app like
very
with
cool.
in-app purchases. Someone is using it in an external test flight beta. Uh, so like it's happening, and it's like, is it worth waiting for that to launch with testimonials and a case study, or is it like that just comes later and is more content? I think that's actually the big question of waiting or not.
Yeah,
Come
I'm
on, tell me
leaning
I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong, and just I should launch some more on launch
I
on
mean,
Wednesday.
I'm leaning towards waiting because you're only gonna
Mm,
get one launch email, and if you have 3 testimonials and can point to an app in the App Store that got there, I feel like that's a lot more powerful than, "It's really great, guys, trust me."
mm, yeah, yeah.
Like, I don't know, I know it sucks to wait, but given your timeline and your vacation and stuff,
Mhm.
oh, yeah, that's tough.
Yeah.
I mean, you could theoretically send a launch email on Wednesday and then send another one 2 weeks later where it's
Mhm.
like, "Hey, I have some updates, like early adopters, have here's some testimonials from my early adopters."
That's true. I also could do on that same thing, it's like the more of the here's why I built it on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Here's the interesting stuff, here's the problem it solves, here's like the technical background behind all of it, like all the GitHub action craziness. Oh, and if
Yeah.
you want to try it, here's a link. And it's more of like a interesting thing that I'm working on. And then in 2 weeks, I could launch it as it is prime time. There are testimonials. Please share it with your friends, like that kind of promo code, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I kinda like that better, so you launch with testimonials, and you're doing a founding customer thing, right, with your paid subscribers? Like, those first 10 people, weren't you, like, telling them you were gonna manually onboard them or something?
Oh yeah. The folks that have reached out in response to me asking for help with it, I've
Mhm.
credited them 3 months
Okay.
of like the plan for free, and I'm helping them just like get it working.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like that feels like a solid strategy.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So my plan is behind the scenes, how I built it. This is super exciting on Wednesday. It's going to be the first time a lot of people hear about it. Hopefully
Yes.
that builds up some excitement, but it's not a Hacker News, Reddit, Twitter thing, maybe Twitter.
Maybe Twitter.
And then in 2 weeks, when I'm back, do like the real launch, hopefully with a couple testimonials and a case study.
Yes. Okay, I love it.
Cool. That sounds really good. I'm actually yesterday, while the boys were sleeping, I spun up an app, like a new Rails app.
Yeah.
I Rails nude, and I'm gonna try to get it into the App Store today with
Oh,
Ruby Native.
nice. Yeah, that'd be awesome. There you go.
So it'd be like a 48 hours, into the App
Turnaround
Store
thing.
thing, and it
Yeah.
would be a real app that you could download and use and see how Ruby Native works, not just like a demo. About for some Portland-based stuff, which is
Oh,
cool.
cool. Yeah.
But worst case, like that can be a not a case study, but a hey, check it out. Here's what you could build.
Here's what actually happens. Yeah.
Hmm.
Here's what
Hmm.
you too could have in the App Store.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. All right. That makes me
Cool.
feel good. Makes me feel good about waiting and not, you know, being impatient, but also now I'm impatient. So thank you.
Okay.
No, this was really helpful. I think
Okay,
you're right.
good.
I think that with a product like this, you need like not social support, but what's it called? Like testimonials
Yeah,
and that
I
kind
think
of stuff.
so. Yeah.
Social proof. That's the word.
Social proof, case studies, that's really good.
Yeah. All right. I like it. I
Okay,
like it.
great. All right. Good luck.
Thanks. Now
Okay.
I'm all nervous. All right. um, anything else you want to touch on this week? I feel like that's a good stopping point.
Yep, I'm good.
Alrighty. Well, we might have an awkward schedule the next couple of weeks with our calendars and spring break and overlapping and stuff, but we'll see you when we see you, I guess. Thanks for
All
listening,
right.
everyone. Catch us
Bye,
on
everyone.
nopermission.fm. We got our emails there if you want to leave some feedback on this, and we're also on YouTube now if you want to see our faces. So check us out. Bye, everyone. Bye, Colleen. Have a good
Bye.
week.